What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of Why You Should Love with me, TheLonesomeRavidor. Now, guys and gals, I may seem a little bit tired today, as I accidentally may have slept in a little bit too long. I actually was meant to wake up about the time of 9 o'clock. I've had a lot of days off these days of because I finished sixth form. I've had quite a few days where I've just been able to do kind of what I want during the day, and I just don't have to get up quite as early. So I am to get up about 9. It's like a reasonable time. It wouldn't have been too bad, and obviously if I did wake up at that time, I may have accidentally slept until about 1 PM. So yeah, I may be a bit tired, maybe a bit zonked, because I actually did expect to wake up a bit sooner, and my body's a bit like, oh jeez, it's only about 2 now, so I've only been awake for about an hour. But yeah, so I want to get some stuff recorded before anything else I do during the day. But anyway, so before we continue on with that story, there's no real need to continue on the story because I've finished the story, whatever, I'm going to shush now. Today we are doing a Why You Should Love in Skyrim. Now, unfortunately, guys and gals, I don't actually have a copy of Skyrim. I only have the copy I have on my Steam, so unfortunately I can't go showing you guys the case or anything like that. So anyway, without further ado, let's get this thing started. Number 1. Skyrim was the very first Elder Scrolls to take part after the Case of Oblivion. Maybe not after the time period, but definitely after, obviously, the chronological release date, if that makes sense. When they released Skyrim, obviously, people needed to boost up from Oblivion. Oblivion being probably one of the most perfectious games back on PS3. It was fantastic. Open world was fantastic. Even the graphics are very, very good for back in the day of being an early PS3 kind of game. But anyway, so basically, when Skyrim came out, it needed a big boost. It needed a fantastic kind of overhaul to be a much better game, to be a well-renowned sequel. Obviously, one of the main things they did was they bumped up the graphics like crazy. They were insanely much better than Oblivion. To be fair, I mean, to be fair, Bethesda during the period in which they weren't doing Oblivion, they did Fallout 3 and New Vegas. Obviously, during that time, they did learn how to do graphics insanely well. So obviously, the people that did Skyrim clearly knew what they're doing, and they made the entire world as beautiful as every inch of it is anywhere. I mean, you'd expect maybe in some kind of games like this where you could you'd maybe see one area being much more beautiful, much more well prepared, and then if you go along somewhere else, then it'd be a lot less detailed. The things would be a little bit more naff, but it was all perfection. It was all you could see it all being chiseled and had care put into every single inch of the map, and it's wonderful. Anyway, let's move on to my second point. So the game actually offers you I have no idea how much game time that Skyrim offers you. I mean, people say different amount of times which they play Skyrim before. A friend of mine actually has about 70 odd hours in Skyrim, but the only reason because of that is because he accidentally fell asleep at one point and accidentally left Skyrim on somehow. I have no idea. But yeah, so I mean, a lot of people do notice however much game time there is in Skyrim, because obviously you've got loads of side quests, miscellaneous quests, random dungeons. If you don't have any quests and you just want to have a little explore in them, vamping up your skills, making yourself the strongest person in the land, just going around killing everybody. That can be. I did that in Fallout New Vegas quite a few times, and yeah, I mean, it's different things which people do enjoy doing and stuff like that. So I mean, the game time in the game's insanely a large amount. Obviously, if people enjoy having a game with a lot of game time to it, then people will definitely enjoy this kind of game, and it definitely doesn't let down. Anyway, let's move on to my third point. As per ever, when it comes down to Bethesda making a game, they do enjoy sliding in their little celebrities when it comes down to their game. Obviously, back in Oblivion, they put Sean Bean in the game. They put Patrick Stewart in the game, and quite a few cool other people. But in this one, I actually don't know a majority of these people, but I know a majority of them are known for quite a few things. They obviously have Max von Sydow doing the version of Sydow. I've got the list of the people on my screen right here. Played Esbern. Christopher Plummer played Argoner. Joan Allen played Delphine, and Michael Hogan played General Tullius. And Vladimir Kulik played Ulfric Stormcloak. Oh, didn't actually know that. That's quite cool. I probably should know these facts, probably talk about them. But I mean, yeah, I mean, that's pretty awesome how they always like to put their special voice acts, especially if you know someone that's in it and that you enjoy it. The quite cool thing is in Oblivion, obviously, if you guys haven't played the spoiler alert, by the way, from I will skip about a few seconds ahead if you don't know this. But in the first Oblivion game, obviously, Sean Bean is the voice of the kind of one of the main characters they have to look after for the entire game. And obviously, at the end, spoiler, skip ahead a couple of seconds, he does die. And it's kind of ironic because obviously Sean Bean's well-renowned as one of the actors that always dies in everything he's in, so it's quite funny to see him die in something else, even a game. But anyway, but yeah, so I mean, Skyrim always likes to put in there quite cool voice acts and stuff like that, and celebrities in their games as well. So it's quite cool little just a thing to kind of enjoy and see your maybe your celebrity people you're passionate about in people you're passionate about in the celebrity world be put into video games, which is quite cool. Anyway, let's move on to my fourth point. As I said before, Skyrim is one of the kind of games that has so much game time. So obviously, from so much game time, it has a massive amount of lore behind the entire game. I mean, there's the side quest with the masks. I have never completed that mission before because I always found it insanely difficult because I could never find all the masks. And besides the fact that I never really put that much time into Skyrim, I put a lot of time into it, don't get me wrong, but not enough to have seen everything in the entire game, which is a shame because the game is awesome. But I mean, obviously, this is the thing with the side quest of the masks, which can like unlock some things in the future. There's the Daedric artifacts, which obviously like shows more stuff about that, because there's only a certain amount of stuff for them, and it shows like how the Daedric lords are kind of affecting the world. And the entire game itself just has so much lore behind it, like say the lore behind the the Dark Brotherhood. I've forgotten what their name were there for a sec. The Thieves Guild. There's the werewolf people. I've forgotten what they're called. I can't remember for the life of me what they're called now. Anyway, but yeah, so I mean, there's all of them kind of people. They're awesome. Like there's the awesome kind of like groups and stuff like that, and you find out history behind them, history behind your own character in a sense. It's amazing. It's exactly what you just find out around like everything. It's amazing, and it's like I don't know. It's like a cool thing to kind of admire. The fact that like the game has put so much time into the entire game. Like, as in, even like if you pick up random books, you can read about stuff and like find out random things about random characters. But I mean, not obviously. Sometimes it involves like to do a storyline, sometimes it doesn't. But I mean, it's all stuff which is you can find like I find incredibly interesting. The fact that I think it's just like it's an awesome thing to see. Like a game actually pays that much attention to itself that it will then be like, oh hey, we should add this kind of stuff into it. We should add that kind of stuff into it, and kind of involve the audience in different kind of ways so that they can see like different ends of what the game they're playing in a sense. So it's quite cool. Anyway, yes, let's move on to my fifth and final point. So to finish this off, Skyrim itself actually has a very simple to grasp gameplay mechanic behind it. Like doing anything like from opening the door to fighting a dragon, all of it's very simple. You kind of grasp exactly what you have to do straight away. There's never many parts of the game where you're like, I have no idea how to do this kind of thing, like because it's so complex. Like I can't actually think of an example, but I mean, say like for example, if you're I don't know, I can't actually think of a good example, but I mean, the entire time when you're playing the game Skyrim, you're always just like, oh, this is how you do that, this is how you do that, blah 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 blah, and it's quite cool. I do enjoy the fact that the game does do that quite well. And it doesn't disappoint in that aspect too. Like, so it won't be like, it won't all of a sudden be like, include like massively difficult parts. Whereas it'll be more like, obviously if you wanted the game to be difficult, you can change the difficulty level and make it harder. But whereas if you want it to be, you can have it just be very simple and like use your own mechanics and go the entire way through. Not your own mechanics, obviously, you don't create the entire game, but as in like, you can use your own kind of like paths and like your own kind of like methods for the entire game, and it'll work just as well. Pardon me, and I burped them. I've been TheLonesomeRavidor once again, you guys, in beautiful aspect. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Why You Should Love. If you guys have any suggestions for any games I should do in the future, let me know in the comment section below. Also, if you know any YouTubers in which I should do a Why You Should Love on, you should adore, and I should like promote, if that makes sense, I will make sure I do them too. Anyway, guys and gals, I've been TheLonesomeRavidor once again, you guys, in beautiful aspect. Say la vie, hasta la vista, and goodbye. Watch out!